Well, hello and good evening. Firefly, Season 1, Episode 3, Bushwhacked, first debuted or first aired back in 2002, but here in 2026 on Live Long and Podcast, we're just getting started. Whether you're joining us live here on YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook, or catching the audio version wherever you get your podcasts, our mission to watch every episode of Firefly continues. One derelict ship, one alliance interrogation, and one brush with Reaver horror at a time. And now this is your captain speaking. And unlike certain traumatized survivors aboard drifting transports, I promise not to leap out of the shadows tonight. I'm your host, Dave Mader. We got a top tier panel here to break it all down. This drift through the black. Well, there might be more. There's some latecomers here. But
look at all these latecomers that just showed up.
Yes.
Is this from the gentleman who was absent last week?
Yeah, sorry for my illness.
I'm sorry for your illness too. You have a license to ill.
If only you had an immune system that had, any ability to fight it off,
Exactly.
Well, coming in first, they call him Mr. Firefly. Ian pretends he doesn't like it. He's in the engineer's chair tonight, questioning every tactical choice, boarding the ghost ship, handling the survivors, navigating the Alliance heavy-handed response. If there's a flaw in the plan, he's calling it out. Jody Simpson, everyone.
Hello, Dave, and I am not Mr. Firefly, even though he claims I am.
Monsieur Firefly. All French. Also with us, coming in here, she's tuned into every emotional beat, the creeping dread aboard the derelict ship, the survivors' unraveling psyche, and the tension of the Alliance interrogations. When the horror hits close to home, she's the one keeping us steady. It's Narduzzi. Heather Narduzzi.
What did you call me when the what hits close to home, David?
When the horror hits close to home, she's keeping us steady.
He said horror, not...
Horror, sorry.
Hi, everybody. Very excited to be here. Please behold my flowers, my peonies. I'm coming in hot from the garden. I have 5 beautiful varieties here I'm very excited about.
Very nice. Looks great. Quite the green thumb with us here tonight. Also, the man following the money, the motives, the economics on the frontier, the value of salvage, the risks of being caught by the Alliance, and the cost of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. If someone's hiding the real story, he's already found the leak. It's Adam Woodward.
Hey guys, glad I could be here. Sorry I'm late, Dave.
What about me? You're not sorry for me.
Jody, it's really great to see you after several weeks of no Jody.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you.
I agree.
He had Jody withdrawal.
As one does.
Everyone does all the time. I get letters constantly from people.
Absolutely.
Some from myself when I haven't seen you.
Jody, just what you could say, it's great to see you yesterday, Dave. Great to see you guys too.
Great to see you all. Jeff and Kevin are away tonight. They are not with us. Kevin on vacation. Jeff, he wasn't feeling it tonight so much. It's.
I believe this is the start of Jeff not showing up for any of the podcasts.
Well, he promised to watch this show with Amanda, so
okay.
We'll hopefully
maybe he has to then.
We are talking about the 3rd episode of Firefly that aired on September 27th, 2002. Kind of the 2nd episode that aired, technically. Written and directed by Tim Minear, so not Joss Whedon. We got another writer here this time, and a director.
You could tell.
Yeah, you can tell.
In this episode, the crew of Serenity come across a transport ship drifting in space. After recovering a terrified survivor and a valuable cargo, they are pulled in by an Alliance cruiser. And while that Alliance commander grills each member of the crew, it appears that the Reaver spawn violence has not yet run its course. So that leads all to it here. So before we get into the whole thing of it all, just what did we think? Jody, you're first up. What do you think?
I think this is a better episode than the first 2 that showed up before it. I understand some people are having trouble with this series already. Hopefully maybe this episode has helped a bit. But overall, I enjoyed the episode. It was the only complaint I really have with the episode, other than what you guys are about to complain about, is probably the fact that it literally just cuts to finish. It's like, and we're done. So it's like
I like that part. Oh, thank God, the credits. Woo!
Oh, Heather.
Heather,
Yeah.
do you agree with Jody? Was this better than the first two?
Yes, I'm just being a little saucy there because this show did not get off to the best start with me. But I do agree, this is the strongest of the 3 episodes we've seen so far. And I mean, I wouldn't go so far as to say I enjoyed it, but it was all right. I liked it better than the first 2, so we're going up.
It's a upward trajectory.
That's
right
correct.
into the stratosphere. And we got World Mind in the comments saying this is one of my favorite episodes because it really shines a light on the characters' personalities. Well, yeah,
Yes,
there was
there is some fun banter, and it seems like they're starting to settle a little more.
I think Pain is probably
my favorite bit in the episode is when they're doing the interrogations and it's all the montage.
Yes.
And then it goes from Zoe, right? And she's like, I don't like talking about my marriage. We're very private. And then we go
everything.
And then we go to the husband, Wash, and he's just like, I love her for everything
her
between her legs
and where her back meets her legs and everything above that.
So that was funny. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
How about you, Adam? Did you enjoy this?
It's easy when you're at rock bottom for me to get better. And I did like this episode. I actually liked this episode. It was Jody. The ending was a little quick. Not that I wanted to go on anymore, but Nathan.
Well, the story was done. It was just kind of like how quickly and abrupt it just ended. Like there was no real like aftermath at all. It was just like, okay, we're done.
They went from like losing everything, including the ship, to just losing their booty, really, Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Well, it's a good thing they didn't lose Zoe's booty because Zoe and Wash might get a divorce otherwise.
That's true. Wash would be not.
World Mind says finding knives all over Jane's cabin. 100%. I was totally thinking about that. First of all, maybe you should keep an eye on the guy in sickbay and just not abandon him there alone. Also, so many knives, so many unattended knives. They need a new knife policy.
Yeah, they should have to be locked up, for special occasions. Different aspects of their personalities. And I enjoyed this too. I thought it was better than the other 2 installments we've had. I was impressed with how much they crammed into the episode, which I think is why the ending feels so abrupt, because it's really like front loaded. And then it's really like once Mal saves the commander from that guy, like that Reaver guy or however you want to refer to him. Then it's just like, I guess implied that I guess he let Mal and all of them go, but he kept the cargo and that's it. And then they scuttle the ship they found at the very end to sort of
you just watch
cap
them
it off,
destroy it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, like I do like that the characters were kind of going here. I'm finding the storyline with River incredibly annoying, personally, like so far, because she just seems to talk to the clouds or the sky. I don't know why she smiles or when she screams, and I'm not putting any of that together yet myself. Like
I really hate the like wordless savant damsel in distress trope. It's so like she's supposed to be this big, like super smart, super badass person, but she never knows what she's doing or what's happening, and nobody understands her. And just like, I hope that's going to pay off soon, because I agree with you, Dave. It's a little annoying.
She does like the stars, though, Heather.
She does. That was cute. She was excited to be outside.
Right. In terms of how she fits into this crew, I'm not so sure. I'm guessing like whatever her backstory is, whatever they did to her at the academy will matter, I guess.
Yes.
Mr. Firefly might know. So, but I don't know. He's right here. Oh. Yeah. Anyway.
You know what else was great? They didn't go down to a planet and bring out the cowboy hats or the 6-shooters.
It was all in space this episode. Yeah. This was more of a space story, less of a Western.
Space and knives. A great combo.
Yeah, felt like a salvage mission. And the commander, I thought the guy playing the commander, I thought was pretty good too. It was Doug Savant, who I looked up, And I can't quite place where I know him from. Like, he's done a ton of like TV and small movie roles over the course of his career. And he was in one episode of The Outer Limits. I'm like, is that what I know him from? I couldn't quite place it.
Yeah, but everybody's been in an episode of The Outer Limits.
Yeah, he's done an episode of The X-Files. He's done
Yeah.
NCIS. He's done a bunch of things. JAG, and I don't know. He was all right. I thought in the interrogation montage and everything that came from that, and more with I guess the other thing to like make commentary on here is just the Reavers and sort of what their mythos is, the legend, and how scared everyone is of them.
We get to know more about them. I really hope we do, because this is kind of interesting to me.
I guess you'll see.
Like what I want to understand is why they're so powerful. Why, like, you know, like I understand that they're savage, but like, do they actually have sheer numbers that make them strong, or are their ships strong, or that's the part I don't really quite get yet.
You'll find out.
They're just that's just.
It reminded me of when the crew of the Enterprise was on regular one, and then they found the crew the crew all up in the rafters, and they
Right.
cut them down.
Yeah, that is an interesting parallel, because it is kind of like that kind of moment, right? Yeah. And
Well,
then
this
how
has
they-
been done before. Like, let's be honest. But you know, the faceless enemy in this show is what I kind of like, because you know they usually show them pretty quickly. Like the guy who ended up going psycho, you don't know if he's actually a Reaver.
Well, we don't
he's
like. I guess he would already be deformed more, like, because he does that to
No,
himself.
he's literally just gone psychotic. for the
Right.
most part. Yeah.
And they didn't give him strong enough drugs, I guess, when they knocked him out.
Yes.
Stargazer says more like the crazy Vulcans in The Expanse from Enterprise.
Which they never really fully explained. I was always
No.
disappointed with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they get into the Expanse, not the show The Expanse, like the Delphic Expanse in Enterprise, and then they're like, "It's scary, people lose their minds," and then that doesn't really happen for the rest of the whole arc.
Well, they were too busy dealing with the Zindi.
And like when they had to go to Western World, remember?
Yeah, that one episode. Yeah.
Which what was that called? North Star, right?
North Star. Yeah.
Terrible episode.
It is a
It was
terrible
not a good
episode.
episode.
Although now thinking about that episode and having watched this show, I can't help but wonder. They're like, that Firefly show got some traction with the fans. Maybe we need to do a Western, because I think North Star would have been produced after Firefly was canceled, but maybe they were just trying to pick up some of those vibes.
Was that the one that we did the radio theater of?
Yes.
That was fun. That's the
Yeah.
only episode of Enterprise I like.
Yeah, it's really it's fine, but
You
How
should
much
watch
of
the
Enterprise
one
have
I've
you
seen.
actually watched?
No, I tried the first episode twice
Yeah,
and I hated it both times. No, I'm out.
What was
Is that-
what was our favorite episode, Jody? One with the
Oh, Minefield, probably.
that mine.
That was a
Thank
great
you.
episode.
that was not your favorite, for the record.
That is my least favorite episode.
Oh yeah, that was something.
I think
Good
it was like the end, like near the end of season 3, like one of those episodes near the end. I think was one of the top episodes we rated, because we did like the season 3 arc, but there were some times where like they went
The
to
arc was
we-
great. It's just
but there were episodes where they went to the Old West planet that we were like,
Yeah.
let's get this going.
yeah, but every Star Trek has done that. So
Too much. Too
Yeah.
much.
Well,
it's
On
right
that
up
note,
there
let's-
with TNG in the holodeck episodes.
of course.
Love the
Okay, well, let's jump into this episode. Back to Firefly, and everything
Sure,
we saw.
why
Holodeck.
not?
We like
That's what
talking
we're
about
here
Next Generation and Star Trek.
No, we got to talk
We do that
Firefly.
on Thursdays.
This is the Firefly podcast. Remember,
Oh,
with Mr. Firefly himself.
with Mr. Firefly here. Here we are. We start off in space with the Serenity, and guess what? Everyone's playing basketball.
no, it's a bitched up version of basketball.
They're playing medicine ball.
They're playing
Something.
throwy at hoopy.
Throw the ball through the hoop.
British?
Yeah,
But
maybe.
they're not flying.
No. Well, they are
Not
technically.
Wow, look
Yeah,
at Zoe.
I guess.
She is something else.
Yeah, good looking woman.
This is
Yeah,
great.
it's not the best screenshot for Jane, but that's how it goes. And then
It's called hoop ball. apparently.
excuse me, we don't want to get not with it with hoop ball. Anyway, so then we see River and the doctor are looking from the upper level of the cargo bay down on them plane. And River then what's her name? Anara comes out and
She looks incredible. She always
Oh, the
looks
whole
incredible.
series.
I
The
love
whole
this
series, she looks
look.
great.
The dress is gorgeous. The jewelry, the hair, the makeup. She's like, they
I
styled
was so
her really
excited
beautifully.
when Deadpool came out when I found out she was in it. I was like,
Mm.
yeah, like what I've been really like as I looked it up, Marina Baccarin at this time is like in her early 20s, right? But
Yeah.
she is she has a much more mature presence to her in these scenes. Like she's a pretty she has a lot of confidence that I think comes through in her performance here that I think does serve her later on. Because I watched her in Gotham, that was where I knew her from. When that show was on. She went on to marry
character.
no,
She
very
ended up marrying
different.
the guy who played Gordon, didn't
She married Ben McKenzie, yeah.
Yeah. Ben McKenzie.
Eventually, but you know.
She was also in a remake of V from animated
Yes.
from the 80s. Yeah.
She was in the V.
And it's too bad because that only made it through one season, but it could have been good.
Yeah, like so like I think she adds a lot here to the cast. I think so. We see her talking to the doctor about his sister, and there's a couple other things she mentions to him here, but she's friendly with them, and they're watching the hoop ball. Just then, I think that there's an emergency that comes during the middle of the hoop ball game, right?
Yeah, their little automation collision system thing came on and said that there was something near them.
Yeah, and it was kind of funny with Wash. He's like, "What? Yeah. What's happening? Who's flying this ship?
Who's flying this damn ship? Oh wait, that's me."
And
he walks off.
And you're like, "Oh, I better go." Okay, so he goes. So then Kaylee tries to recruit the doctor. I know the doctor has a name. I just always want to call him the doctor, but to him into the game, but he's a little too hesitant.
I like to call him Ass Face.
So Kaylee's always like making eyes at the doctor, right? Like they're setting this romance up. Feels like Mr. Firefly. Yeah. And then meanwhile, Wash does get into his chair up in like the cockpit. He finds this derelict ship that they're coming up on. And then all of a sudden a body hits like the windshield, I want to call it, or like the glass window. And it scares Wash.
Anybody else get a little bit of a flashback from First Contact?
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. This episode did give me First Contact vibes in that it's very eerie and they're walking around with like flashlights and looking for an unknown menace.
Yeah, that's true. And like in the dark ship, like what could be coming out of the corner. So then Wash calls up the rest of the crew, who then say, "Oh, look, he tells them that they hit somebody, like a body, but then like, why is the ship just here dark in the middle of space by itself? It's a bit of a mystery. They don't, have any information." And then, we pull back from the rest of the crew who have all come up into the cockpit, and we just see River, smiling and talking to herself about, seemingly she knows something or she understands something, but what that is, no one is clear on. And why we're doing it, unknown. But
I would agree with you, though. I think her character is pretty annoying at the beginning of the series, so it certainly does progress better. But
like it's like I guess this mystery that we're meant to follow through like the episodes.
Yeah,
right?
you do eventually learn more.
Yeah. Anyway, that is our teaser for the episode, and then we get into the great credit sequence written by Joss Whedon.
She says ghosts.
Yeah,
that's right.
Were there any ghosts?
That's what she says they are. I don't know if they're ghosts or not. Yeah, she's mystical.
They were dead bodies.
Yes.
But anyway. Come back, and then so after credits, they're looking at the ship and what can they speculate on what could have happened. Then they say, okay, I guess it could be a salvage operation. So they decide that they're going to go over there. Shepard, wants to be involved, but they're gonna just see if there's any cargo and start off with there. But then we see when they dock with the ship that this weird cable snake thing like wraps around. We'll find out later that this is a bomb booby trap left by the Reavers. That has to be that for anyone who tries to dock. Basically, once you try to uncouple from it, it will blow up. So just to get them going here. Meanwhile, we got Zoe and Mal who are planning to go over to the other ship. They're getting into their environmental suits. We got the doctor and Jane looking on. The doctor being very scared of the idea of wearing an environmental suit, which will, I guess, be important because later on he'll hide in one along with River. Her brain's broken. Her way of saying they're dead is saying ghost. Well, that's stupid. Okay, let's move it on.
Okay, then.
And then we got I don't know, Jane's always taunting the doctor with his, I don't know, just the doctor being scared, being a rich kid, I guess, is what we're meant to get with this dynamic between them.
Yeah.
He's like,
I hope our other viewers here don't worry about Dave cutting you up. It's just Chris. World mind there.
Oh yeah, no, I won't do that to all people in the comments, but World Mind always has this way of like, but you don't understand, your criticism's invalid because her brain is broken. I'm like, no, it's still I think a valid criticism. Anyway, so they got Mal and Zoe heading over to the ship here. They go through the airlock. And it's empty. They can't find anybody aboard. It's this really empty, scary looking ship. They find all the parts. They eventually make their way into the mess hall here. We find all the food trays and everything like just left, half drank drinks and everything else. Whatever happened here happened quickly. They figure out. Then they make their way into the cargo hold. They can't find anyone. They say, well, even if somebody ejected a lifeboat, it wouldn't hold enough of the crew. This doesn't make sense. Like, where are the people?
Well, they said the lifeboats are gone.
The lifeboats are gone, but there would still be some people, or at least bodies.
They wouldn't
left.
have enough people. This is like the Titanic of cargo ships.
Yeah, they try to
not enough boats for everybody.
Just when they try to pull up the log that's been left by whoever in the bridge area, then we go back to Serenity, and River is screaming, waking up, having more of her broken brain syndrome.
That's stupid. Sorry, I had to say it.
The doctor tries to come and comfort her as she's got her scrambled here, but then Jane says, "Hey, the captain wants us to come over right away to the other ship, so please come with me." And he says, what do I need to do? He's like, he didn't say, but we'll find out this is just a prank being done by Jane, because the doctor was not summoned by the captain at all.
Everybody's dead. They don't need him.
Yeah, and then the doctor gets into the environmental suit, although we'll find out he's wearing it wrong. He's heading over, being all scared and freaked out. He's got his medical kit, and then he turns around and everyone's
just kind of staring at him.
No, they have no EV suits on anymore. They're just breathing the air.
Why the hell are you here? Yeah.
And he's just like, "Hey, why are you here?" And then he takes off his helmet and he goes, "Well, Jane told us we were going over here." And then Jane thinks it's hilarious. Always the pranks by these people. Seems to be a recurring theme.
It is.
Then what else? Because this is where Kaylee tells the doctor he's not even wearing the environmental suit correctly anyway. So if this had been in a vacuum,
Kaylee's like, that's not on right, or it's not on or something. Oh, actually, it's that's on wrong.
That's not not wrong. Yeah, it's not wrong here. After that beat, we got just a quick thing here with Zoe and Mal saying this doesn't make sense. There should be more people here, whatever, So they got Wash back in the cockpit doing more analysis, I guess, on the hull and what they can kind of deduce from what happened to them, what happened to the crew. Meanwhile, you see this part here where Inara comes to check on River. And she's not in her bunk. Her quarters are empty. Where did she go?
Can they not fucking LoJack that chick? She's constantly disappearing, and this is a thing that does happen a lot. And it's just LoJack people. Get them comm badges or something.
And we find River wandering through the derelict ship.
She doesn't have an EV suit on though.
No, well, she doesn't need one. No one here does at this point.
No, and she even knows that, and she didn't bother to put it on, so that's fine.
There's a moment here between Kaylee and the doctor on the derelict ship, where she's like almost electrocuting herself by salvaging the different parts that are inside the ship.
Well, I like how she rips it apart and it like almost zaps her. That she's like, "Oh, that's a good working one."
Yeah, well, I think that's
After
the
you
fun.
ripped it out. Yeah.
Like, I do agree. Like they all have their distinct personalities, and she's probably one of the more distinct ones of that.
Yeah,
you know,
she's one of my favorite characters.
She just has sort of like this happy-go-lucky attitude towards life, right?
Actually, this is one of the shows where I actually like the women more than the men for the most part, because I think the women are written way better. So
maybe so. We'll find out.
Yeah.
Then Zoe and Mal, like they're going to the part of the ship. That's what they were calling Wash for. They were like, where would like the valuables be kept if anywhere? And he's like in the aft section on C deck or something. So that's why they came to this section. And the fact that it's locked makes them excited because that means there could be value in there. So they get a kind of blowtorch and they cut a hole into like to get through the door. Which makes it just wonder, like, so the Reavers were here, right? And the Reavers then locked this door up with like all the people inside of it,
or they never got into it.
But that's where all the bodies are. They had to have gotten into it.
This is something that you'll figure out later on with the Reavers.
Okay, they can walk through walls.
Oh,
okay. I don't
know.
No. So
you'll understand the motives later.
Back to River, walking barefoot through the derelict ship, being all sort of, I don't know, stoned as she moves along.
Well, she's. I think it's supposed to show how relaxed she is and how focused she is on what she's trying to see, and then, like as she's walking towards them, right?
Yeah. Anyway, then Mal and Zoe, they get into the room that was locked. They find a bunch of creepy dolls. Which I couldn't help but think about Joss Whedon's Dollhouse when that came out.
Well, I think it's also a reflection, in a way, a reflection of River, right? Because they found River in a box as well. So
they did find River.
Oh, symbolism.
There's a lot of.
That's why they call you Mr. Firefly.
Exactly.
No, that's not why they call me it. The only people that call me that is you, and it's completely unwarranted.
Mr. Firefly expert.
Yes. No expert at all. If anything, Chris is probably an expert. I'm not.
Yes, well, Chris. Then they find this really valuable cargo, which is basically food. It's like, you know, it's food and rations and seeds and stuff like that, and it has a lot of value. And like, why is it here? Why even Mal's like, you know, they would have taken some of this with them, even if they had to leave in a hurry, because there's so much value, and it doesn't make sense. And this is where like they're like, yeah, this is really starting to feel weird, but they're like, this cargo is so valuable. This is if we're going to take anything, this is what we're going to take. And then River is suddenly there to startle us. You know, she's walked in here, creep, and she's then looking up. And as she's looking up, that prompts them to look up. And what's up there? Dead bodies and mutilated people, and yeah. It's quicker in the episode, but you know, we can linger on this as long as
we can freeze frame.
Yeah,
there you go.
Anyway, so very grotesque, and you know, it's a good like horror story. I like that, not what Heather thought I said earlier. Horror, I say. And it's because in this version, right? Because like they haven't released that original pilot, so like this is like the first mention of the Reavers at all.
Yes.
In terms of the broadcast audience, right? At this time, up to this
way
time,
more sense if you watch it in the order that it was intended.
Yeah, but you know,
way more boring though.
But Mal says, "I know what this is." When he sees the bodies hanging up there and all, he goes, "I know what this is." And he calls over to Jane, who's in a different part of the ship, like I think in the mess hall, looking to get whatever he can. He's like, "You gotta get out there right now, like whatever." And then the lights like come on all of a sudden, and we see this guy just attacks Jane really quickly. And you know, what's funny is he's much smaller than Jane, but you know, he's very ferocious. So then they try to make their way down to Jane because I think there's some shots heard. They get up there quickly. Once they get there, and eventually, we find out Jane's okay. They're kind of moving through the room. He's like, I never saw who attacked me, but he was big and strong and very dominant. But they are able to follow the blood droplets that were left by the shot that Jane put into him, I guess. And they find him hiding in this like vent, air duct, I guess.
Yeah.
And he's all scared. And then, I don't know. What I do enjoy about Mal as a character is that you always think he's like, hey, let me help you. Let me get you out of there. And then he just like punches him in the face. He doesn't always do what you expect him to do, I guess, is what I enjoy about his character. And they're like, this is what you were afraid of, Jane? And he was like, he seemed a lot bigger when I couldn't see him. Or he looked a lot bigger when I couldn't see him. Anyway, then they come back to Serenity, and they're all in like the dining hall, I guess, or no, near the medical bay, talking about who they found, the survivor, what he saw. At first they're saying like he's the one who killed everybody over there. He's the suspect, but Kaylee's like, that doesn't make a lot of sense. That's not what we believe, is it? And the doctor figures out that he's otherwise healthy, other than he's has malnutrition and he's been through some stuff. But Mal's kind of figuring out that he was made to watch probably when the Reavers attacked, and he was turned psychotic. So Mal orders the doctor to sedate him with or drug him,
or he's being constructed to become a Reaver.
Oh,
maybe,
which is actually what it is.
Sorry, it's what?
So he is basically.
Woody, are you telling us the plot?
Well, technically, this is in the episode. You guys just didn't pay attention.
Oh. All right.
No, that's true. I did not.
So, Mr. Firefly, what's happening?
So he's beginning the psychosis, which is the first stage before he becomes a Reaver.
But is this like a disease, or is this just like a mental like?
That I won't tell you yet.
Okay. All right. Anyway, then Mal comes out and talks to the rest of them that, he's too far gone. Like they've saved him in a sense, like they've rescued him from it. There's a conversation here with the shepherd and everyone else. And they're like, well, maybe we should try. Sorry, help me out here. What happens after this part? When they're just talking about.
Tell us, Mr. Firefly.
No. Let's see if children were paying attention.
Oh, well, the shepherd wanted to do
paying attention.
I was, I got a lot going on here. Shepherd, he wanted to do a funeral, right, for all the bodies they found.
Yes.
Right. And
right.
See them on. So he wanted to go back.
He wants to go back, and the rest, like Jane, definitely doesn't want to go back there. But Mal agrees to it. He's like, I'll allow you to go back and have a funeral and whatever else. And Jane's not happy about it.
Which this scene here actually is a very good scene to set an example based on what Worldmind was saying earlier, which is that a lot of the personalities get drawn out. This is a great scene for drawing out the personalities of all these people just by how they react to this.
Right. This particular situation.
The people who are very loose with their values, the people who aren't loose with their values at all, the people who are very strict, the people who aren't. This all from this one scene, which I think is great.
True. And it even surprises a few of the crew that Mal decides to do this, allow the shepherd to do his funeral and everything else. Anara is impressed with him. She's like, just when I thought you were a complete scumbag, you impressed me. And Kaylee also is.
Those two just need to screw and get over with it.
Yeah, like the way that they look at each other, Anara.
Oh yeah,
and,
they both love each other. They just don't want to admit it.
Yeah.
So there's no history here, Jody. We're not going to get this,
But these two.
Yeah.
I won't get into that, but
there definitely is.
Yeah, not really.
There's either or he has history with other companions, perhaps.
He does. Yeah.
Anyway, Kaylee's impressed. Even Wash and all of them are like, this is the right thing to do. They do find the booby trap next, but that was left by the Reavers, and that it's gonna blow up. But Kaylee's like, I can disarm the bomb, basically, if I get in there. And if I don't, you can't yell at me for screwing it up because I'll be dead. So it's good, what they need to do next. So I thought it was interesting how you got them doing the salvage, like trying to give these people the funerals as they're pulling down the bodies, and I don't know, like especially wearing the masks to like protect themselves from the smell. I think it was a touch to give it more just.
See, that's why you should wear those biosuits.
There you go. You need those N95 masks.
You never stand underneath a body that's being like eviscerated. Like
no, that seems like a very bad place to be standing. Yeah, I agree.
Stuff can come down on you, right? So
lots of things can come down. Right. Not just stuff.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you got Kaylee doing her thing, and then you also have Anara doing her Chinese characters calligraphy. As well, River sleeps in her bed.
So one thing about this show that I have become quite annoyed at
is the Chinese.
When you watch it on like with subtitles, and it goes swearing in Chinese or Chinese, just it's kind of it doesn't add anything to this.
Yeah, okay.
I don't believe.
I wouldn't necessarily disagree with you on that.
Yeah. Then you got the survivor guy in the medical bay. Meanwhile, while Kaylee's doing her thing, crawling in there to disable the bomb, the Reaver man, he wakes up and he's freaking out. I guess that medicine wore off. It should be somebody's job on the ship to make sure this guy is not going to get
or maybe put away the scalpel.
Maybe put away the scalpel because River wakes up screaming and freaking out, but she what's wrong with you? And then we find that the Reaver man is taking a knife so he can split his own tongue. This is what the psychosis has done to him and turning him into a.
Okay, I guess I might as well explain this part. Okay, the Reavers, one of their traits is they carve themselves.
Yes, mutilate themselves.
So this is also another hint as to what he is.
Oh, good.
Okay, nice.
Good.
Oh, good. That's great. They got more of the funeral here. Shepard doing his thing with the praying. Kaylee disarms the bomb throughout all of this whole sequence. So what I did enjoy about this is how they were kind of doing a bunch of different things at once, and you can kind of follow.
That's actually one thing I do like about this show, even though I don't like it in some things, is the fact that they don't, if they have a scene that's going to be running really long, they really do kind of interrupt them usually. And I think in some shows that would really annoy the hell out of me, but in this episode it seems to work because they use it for dialogue and stuff.
And you can just follow the story. They're all in the same place and they're doing different things, but it's
the scene. And I think that's one of the reasons why this episode is more enjoyable to watch is because of the fact that you're not getting a long drawn out scene. You're getting a lot of action all the time, which is kind of nice.
Yeah. Then Jane comes back with all the cargo they stole, and Mal orders him to put it in the cargo hold right away.
Jane in every episode is being carting containers. But one of his jobs is to do this.
Well, he's the thug basically.
He's security guard / just stockroom guy or something. Yeah. Anyway, so then there's a proximity alert. There's somebody here. The Mal's got to get up there right away. Is it Reavers? Are the Reavers here to kill them all? What is it, right? Let's freaking get out of here right away. But Mal gets up there, and it's not the Reavers.
No, it's a
Alliance cruiser. Which and you just see how massive
they're
these
fucking
things are.
Huge.
They look like just big office buildings with green windows that are
the Serenity is a pretty small ship, but it's these things are huge. They're
how many people are on board these things? It's got
I don't know. I'm
thousands.
Look that up. That's a good question.
Yeah,
skyscraper ship.
It literally looks like a city line going by.
Yeah. There's a zoomed out thing. You can see the size difference between the Serenity and that. And then they're like, the man's here, the authority is here, and we come over to the perspective of the Alliance cruiser and their bridge, and we meet the commander and the rest of the crew. A repurposed board cube.
A repurposed board cube.
Yeah. With the Starship Trooper people, sometimes
One of those
literally.
things kind of interesting is like, in all the vastness of space, they keep running into things like, ships that are in trouble.
Yeah, they just keep running. It's a small neighborhood space, but that's how it goes. Anyway, and they say in dialogue, aren't we looking for a Firefly ship that's harboring 2 fugitives, like referring to River and the Doctor?
That's the only dialogue that I think is absolutely terrible in this episode.
Well, what kind of Firefly? Maybe this Firefly, maybe not. I don't know. It's exposition. It serves the purpose. Meanwhile, Mal's freaking out like they're going to get boarded, so he wants to take the cargo out of the cargo hold that Jane just put it into, so that it won't look like they're hiding that. And more importantly, they need to hide River and her brother right away. And the Doctor, he gets convinced he's going to be given up here by Mal, but like they don't have a lot of time to argue about this. And even Shepard's like, shut up and just do what he says right now, because if he's going to sell you out, then it's too late. What are you going to do? And if he's not, then you better just go along with it. But I love how Jane was like, because the Doctor says like, you were just going to use this as bargaining chips, weren't you? And Jane's just like, yeah, now it makes sense. Now I understand why they're here. Because Jane is always like the devil on Mal's shoulder, if you will. They pull in the Firefly, the Serenity, with like some kind of tractor beam, it seems like. Or somehow they're able to pull it in.
So I have the spec for you, Dave. The ship weighs 5.5 million tons and is roughly 1,800 feet long and 2,100 feet wide. And it's at its absolute height. It's at 2,500 feet high, and has an administration. Yeah, and has an administration population of 100,000.
100,000 people on that ship.
Yeah,
it doesn't have a bridge either. It's not like a ship. It's like this moving city.
It's more like almost like
a city that moves. Yeah,
like kind of like the Death Star, right, or something like that.
Same idea. Yeah.
Anyway, they come aboard Mal, the Serenity, and like they're here together. They even got the Starship Trooper guys with the purple helmets.
Do you want to know more?
Do you want to know more? Is this what some illegal salvage operation? And you're immediately grilling them about the fugitives, giving it up. Like, got to search and toss every square foot of this ship, or they find. He tells them about the survivor they found. But when they go to the medical bay, I don't think they find him right away, right? Like he's
there, but they eventually
he's there. Anyway, they all get arrested. They all get taken in. And then we get that whole montage where they're getting questioned by the commander,
which is the best part of this show.
Which is the fun part, and we get a little bit more.
This is fun.
We find out, Nara has been like, renting the shuttle for about a year, and why it's a good arrangement. Then Zoe talking about, no, my private life and my personal life with my husband's my business. I don't like to talk about it. But just to then go over to Wash, who's like, yeah, she's the best. I married her because she's hot. And then we got some more with the Shepherd. I don't know. Then Jane is just being a crazy psycho guy.
She's just staring him down the whole time. That's all he's doing. I
don't have a screenshot, but Kaylee was really offended that he insulted the Serenity,
the ship,
as a pile of junk. And how dare you? Like almost like how Scotty's like, you don't call it a garbage scow. Hauled away as garbage.
Yeah.
As they did in the original series. But yeah, like a little bit more.
Oh yeah, I forgot that line, Worldmind. He also says that. Have you ever been with a warrior woman?
Was that like Xena, warrior princess?
Yeah.
You have to ask Dave. You haven't.
Yeah. We see them then back here. The Starship Troopers tossing the Serenity and the mess hall more specifically here, and we pull. Like at one point, like the guard looks under the placemat. I was like, "Is there something under the placemat?" Like, are you?
All we need to do is count the placemat. We places set to figure out how many people would have been on that ship.
Right, but like he was just like, all right, is River gonna be under the placemat? I don't think so, but she is just outside the window, and they're hiding them inside environmental suits, just clinging to the side of the hull, which I thought was, because I was kind of like a little surprised by this move. I was expecting them to be hiding in one of the compartments of the ship, but
and they alluded that they were in Anara's room, right? because you know, as she's getting in there, she's looking kind of nervous and stuff, and it's like, oh yeah. But this I thought was a great little flip, because we're used to them, you know, being in the rafters or they're in the sewage system or something like that, and it's like, nope, they're actually hanging off the fucking ship outside.
And and I also just assumed, like, when we told Jane to pull that cargo out of the hold, that they were going to put them in the hold. You know, that was where they were to hide them. But that would make sense.
What else is kind of cool is the fact that, you know, despite all the technology, they don't have sensors that's going to track, you know, life signs.
No.
Well,
it's not
this
that
is
advanced.
actually something that's interesting about this show, because there's so much low tech stuff in it. It's almost got kind of like a bit of a Star Wars vibe in a a way. You know what I mean?
A lot of ways, yeah.
Yeah.
Like even Battlestar, like how Battlestar was kind of spacey, but also kind of not.
Yeah,
it does remind me a little bit of that. Anyway, then we got, you know, they're holding on to the outside of the ship, and River's enjoying the view of the stars, while her brother is much more scared. He doesn't like being out here in space inside this environmental suit so much. This is one of his phobias, but you know, she's having a good time. Then we have the commander interrogating Mal. We get more explanation about, you know, Mal having fought in the war and the, you know, for the other, whatever side they called the Independents, I guess, or something like that. Whatever faction that Mal
like that,
fought for, the Browncoats.
Yeah.
And they were fighting against the Alliance, and you know, he even keeps referring to him as Sergeant over and over again. You know, he's like, I'm not in the war anymore. And that, you know, this is gonna come through. Meanwhile, they're like, oh yeah, we're trying to help the guy, the survivor. He split his own tongue open, and Mal's like, no, that's not a good sign. That means he's becoming a Reaver. As we see, somehow, not only has he cut his own tongue open, you know, earlier with the scalpel he found on Serenity, but he's able to get, I guess it's the same scalpel he already had, here with him in the cruiser's medical bay, and he seemingly, I guess he attacks all the medical staff and maybe kills them all in the middle of the surgery that they're giving him.
Yeah.
It's implied. Yeah. So Mal is trying to reason with the commander, but the commander's like a typical, like, you know, Fed.
He's a company man.
He's a company man. He's a by the book kind of a guy, you know, and he plans to, you know, if he can't prove that they're hiding the two fugitives, he at least wants to bust them for illegal salvage and being pirates and this kind of thing. But Mal is trying to reason with him here. Then we see that River and her brother come back inside of the ship in their environmental suits. I guess because either they ran out of air or they were coming back for food. I wasn't quite clear on why they were coming back so soon until the coast was clear. But
well, I think they're limited on how much air they have in those suits. So
yeah, I guess that's why they come back in. So they've come back in, and they're just about to arrest Mal and confiscate his ship, and they said, well, yeah, we're gonna sell off your ship and your stuff. That will go towards your legal defense. So
look at that Starship Trooper behind him there. He's
yeah. What do you mean? That's a completely different helmet. That's just that's got a purple band on it, Adam. How could you ever confuse these things?
Sorry.
Yeah. So, you know, but then like somebody shows up to tell the commander, hey, that guy we were helping him who split his tongue. He's killed the entire medical staff and he's escaped.
He's currently running around on the ship. Yeah.
This is the look of a man who just received that news.
This is the look of George W. Bush on 9/11.
Yeah, it's almost like that. It feels you know,
it's like, what?
It's only a year after that happened, right?
Yep.
And anyway, so then while the doctor and River were coming back into the mess hall, I don't know, like, I guess because the Reaver guy has come here and River can kind of sense him, but she doesn't really explain any of that. And then we see, the Reaver guy is close by and he's going to get a knife and he's going to attack. So scary. Watch out. We find out, the Reaver has killed yet another one of the commander's people, this time a Starship Trooper man. You know, and so this is why the commander has reluctantly agreed to bring Mal with him, but Mal is all handcuffed, right? And he can't do anything. He's like, can you do anything? You know, like, let me help you. I know the ship, like, you know, the best. And the commander eventually agrees, like, okay, I'm going to switch it so your handcuffs are in front of you and you'll be the first guy to go in. So you'll be our canary in the coal mine. If, you know, something goes bad here, you'll be the first to die. And he's like, oh, that's sweet of you. All right, you go ahead first. But Mal doesn't really have another play, so Mal goes with it. The doctor being convinced by his sister not to go into the mess hall, not to get stabbed because she's using her brain powers to know what's going on there. Mal is even walking through the mess hall. He sees the environmental suit that the doctor has left here. And he was just like, oh, maybe I need to come through. And he even walks like past that part of the door, and he makes direct eye contact with River and the doctor, but the rest of the, just then.
Yeah, but if you go back though. Go back.
This?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, you didn't catch it. If you actually look hard enough in one of the frames, you'll actually see like an outline that looks like somebody else standing behind him.
Oh. Yeah, well, just then the Reaver guy appears and he stabs another one of the Starship Troopermen in the neck.
So
I don't
couldn't
have a great
been him anyway then.
Couldn't have been him. The blood splatters all over the commander's face, and then he attacks the commander, and he's on the top of the commander. He's doing his.
So he's got like glass popping out of his face here. Like,
it's hard to see what it is. It's like he's like.
I couldn't tell either, but I was thinking Dave will definitely have some unpleasant screenshots to linger on.
Right.
Okay,
well,
remember how I told you about how they mutilate themselves?
Yeah, he mutilates himself, and
that includes sticking things in them.
It's hooks
World
and
9
wires.
says it's hooks and wires. Gross.
Yeah, not looking great. And this is what the insanity does to you, I guess. It turns you into a Reaver, man.
This is the first part.
Anyway, so he's going after the commander, but then Mal, at least he has those handcuffs around his wrist, so he's able to use that to strangle the Reaver guy to death, saving the commander. I actually think he breaks his neck.
He does break his neck, yeah. He strangles him, and as he's strangling me, breaks his neck.
Looks so easy.
It's very easy. You just go like that. Yeah, done.
Well, you made it look easy.
Yeah.
And so then like he saved the commander's life's been saved, and then all of a sudden like the Serenity is leaving. Like that's like the very abrupt quick
gets
ending
released
here.
And they just kind of
they're like okay,
bye.
And in the dialogue, Jane's like, well, he could have let us keep that cargo, but Mal just says nope, he couldn't do it. He had to do it by the book.
He could have taken his ship away.
He could have, but I guess he was like, "Okay, I'll let you go."
It's like I kind of owe you one,
but I won't leave the valuable cargo with you. That's like the compromise. So
and even Mal says that though. He's like, "Well, we can't leave that cargo. That's
yeah." He could. He says he couldn't let us keep that. There was no way he was ever going to let us keep that. So then he walks away, and we see them scuttling what's left of the ship that they found the transport ship, and it blows up. To end the episode, and
that's it.
Thing. I guess Tim Minear, who directed and wrote this episode, he's like the co-creator of this show, or like he's
as far as I know he is, but I don't quote me on that. I know that his name and Josh Wheaton are the two that are known for this show, but I don't know if it's only because he's known as producer. I don't know. He
seems to be like a co-showrunner, I would say. I would read it. Yeah. So that is our episode in stills. Everything we saw in the episode Bushwhacked. I think it's a pretty decent science fiction story. It's not. It's got a lot, some weird things in it, like anything else, but it's all right. Do we have any fun facts, trivia, or anything else?
60 fun facts with Adam.
Love it.
Facts.
Sexy.
Yeah, I mean that episode last week, Heather, you couldn't make those sexy facts about that episode. There was nothing sexy about that.
No.
Yeah. Okay, so Bushwhacked. It's the first crew's first direct contact with the Reavers attack ship, and the first time the audience sees the psychological aftermath of an attack. Josh Whedon described it as the moment the show stopped hinting and started showing what Reavers can actually do.
He shows more.
Nice.
The Alliance officer was originally written very differently. Commander Harkin was first conceived as a more stereotypical military antagonist, but during filming, the writers softened him to be more nuanced, someone who thinks he's the good guy but isn't entirely wrong. It's one of the earliest example of Firefly avoiding simple Alliance evil storytelling. Yeah, there's more to this guy. I hope we actually see him again, because I'd like to know what his role is in that war. And this is the first time in this whole, the 3 episodes.
Well, it was interesting because he was referencing
yeah.
Weren't you at that battle, the Battle of the Something Valley, and that was kind of when the war really ended, and that is what we saw in the pilot. That was that original battle we opened with, right?
That we don't know anything about, but Serenity
we don't know anything about, but we're getting more of the backstory now, basically.
That's right. Yeah. The survivor's transformation was inspired by real trauma responses. The ideal of a lone survivor becoming a Reaver wasn't just a sci-fi horror thing. Whedon and the writers researched extreme trauma cases and dissociative breaks. The becoming of what you fear angle meant that Reavers are more tragic than monstrous because you become them. This is sort of like 28 Days Later, Rage.
Kind of.
The basketball scene was added late to the show to show crew dynamics.
Hoop ball?
Pardon me. Hoop ball.
Yes.
The cold open hoop ball game wasn't in the original script. It was added because the producers wanted a moment of levity before the episode's darker tone, and to show that the crew had a family bond before throwing them into the horror.
The horror.
The ship's interior was a redress of Serenity's set. Go figure. You go cheap. To save budget, the derelict transfer ship was built by reconfiguring and repainting parts of the shared Serenity's own corridors.
It's like a bottle episode.
Yep. The art department joked that it was Serenity's evil twin.
We also find out that there are many Firefly class ships. I think they say 10,000 of them.
Well, Firefly is the class of ship. Yeah.
Yeah. And how many of them are out there flying actively? It seems like thousands of them, right?
Yeah.
Bushwhacked
is the only one. This is just theirs.
Right. Bushwhacked is the first time we see Mal interact at length with Alliance authority. His interrogation scenes were designed to reveal his war trauma without exposition of really what happened, especially the moment where he calmly explains that Reavers while Alliance officers dismiss him. So basically, the Alliance is denying that Reavers exist. Meanwhile, Mal has now said this a couple times in the show, that these are a problem.
Right. Yeah, they're the line that Mal has here. It may have been the losing side. I'm not convinced it was the wrong side, in the war. But
Worldmind makes a very good point. The Firefly class is basically just a Honda Civic.
It's a very common spaceship, basically.
Yeah, right. The transformation makeup to become a Reaver, pale skin, blood vessels, cracked lips, and dead eyes, took 3 hours to apply. The actor had to perform intense physical scenes while wearing prosthetics that limited his vision.
Yeah, wait until see more of them.
Right, because he was elaborate. I'm guessing, he's compared to what the Reavers are like,
Yeah, he was too new to be genuine looking Reaver. Yeah.
And then on River only has a handful of lines, but her quiet presence is deliberate. Whedon said she is meant to be the barometer of danger. So the more unsettled she is, the more audiences should worry.
Okay, good to know, I guess. All right. She's danger detection. Danger, Will Robinson.
Yes. Right. She's that robot.
Danger, Will Robinson.
Danger.
Sorry, guys, just switching one thing here. More about the derelict spaceship. It was also used as a recycled from an old Mighty Morphin Power Rangers episode.
Nice.
It was?
Yeah, apparently.
Wow. They recycle everything on this show.
Yep. Alan Tudyk ad-libbed that entire interrogation scene as shown in the segment where from an extended blooper reel.
It was good. It was it was one of I thought the better moments in the episode.
Yep.
So River, by the way, is the Deanna Troi of the show, according to
the Deanna Troi or the Diana.
Deanna Troi.
Deanna Troi.
Oh, they put Diana.
They put But first I was thinking Helen of Troy or something. But
yeah, no, talking about obviously Deanna.
She's the Deanna Troi. Okay.
I guess she's the barometer. The barometer of the crew.
Yeah.
During the
I guess
basketball
that's right.
hoopball game, Jane has a bandage from his leg being injured in the previous episode.
Oh yeah, get shot.
He did get shot. This is the first significant look at the handiwork of Reavers, a population of humans that have become cannibalistic and apparently feral raiders.
But the thing was, like, they didn't eat all the people, or that's what I can't, like, are they just sadistic? Is that what their thing is? Like, how much of this is for resources and how much of this is for...
They loot and raid. That's what they do.
But they left all that food there. Like, they left all the supplies
Perhaps
there.
that's not their concern.
Okay.
They don't eat that food, Dave. Why would they care?
They didn't eat all the people either.
Or did they?
How
many did you see?
I saw at least like
18
6
families worth.
No, but we saw at least 7 or 8 people that didn't get eaten, or at least not completely.
No, but they had 18 families on that ship, Dave. How many were there? Like 7?
More.
Well, listen, let's just wrap it up with the Reavers here. But before this episode, we've only heard about them. Men have gone savage on the end of the space, edge of space. Yep. But basically what this informs is that Reavers are made. They're not born.
That's right.
There's a transformation that occurs, so excessive trauma can trigger the becoming of a Reaver. It's not genetic, it's not supernatural, but it's a human mind breaking and becoming something different in a horrifying direction. So with that, I'm going to leave it there.
Are there women Reavers?
I'm sure there are.
Must be, right? Okay. Well, thank you, Adam. Always factual.
And sexy.
Well,
that's...
Oh, I liked how you did the little the eyebrow wag when you said that. That was awesome.
All right. Well, at that note, let's get to our ratings and score our episode. Bushwhacked.
You're kind
Jody,
of sexy
if you want
too, Dave.
Well, Jody, we have to catch up with you for the train job if you want to give us that rating now.
Wow, Adam, you're really going hardcore, eh? Wow. For that episode, I will agree it's not a very good episode. There was some fun parts in it, though. I'm going to give it probably like a 5.
Okay. And for this episode, Bushwhacked.
Oh, I love this episode. I think this is a solid... I think this is an 8.
An 8. Okay. Adam, how about you?
Well, if I gave Serenity a 5 and I gave Train Job a 0, I'm going to give this a 7 because I did like it. It was good. It was entertaining.
I thought it was good too. I'll go 8. I think it's a decent episode of TV. So, but there, no Kevin tonight, and so Narduzzi, you are our final vote for this evening.
Here's the thing. Are we, on this scale of 1 to 10, are we rating it like based on everything I've ever watched? Is this like a 0 to 10, or are we rating it like for the show?
For the show.
I rate it for the show.
Okay.
My answer to be was just how much did you enjoy it? Like after it was over, how much did you feel like you enjoyed it? Like,
did you feel like you wasted your time?
Can I ask another question? After spending an hour and what are we now? An hour with us tonight. Did you like it any better?
Yes, which I always do, but it did make me nervous and unsettled, and it was effective in what it was trying to do. I feel like I saw some things about the characters' personalities, which we discussed earlier. So I'll give it like a 6.5.
Okay. You don't have to explain it. It's all about how you feel. So.
Oh, you have to explain it. I like to hear the why people come up with ratings. I
explain yourself, Heather.
How dare you?
I kind of did explain though.
Worldmind.
I did explain myself, and Dave said you don't need to explain yourself.
Well, it takes all types, Okay, so we're averaging an 8 point. No, sorry, we're averaging a 7.4, which is the best rating so far. So a win,
Worldmine
I would
gives it an
say.
8.
Worldmine's giving it an 8?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Stargazer here in chat. 7.
7.
There we go. And I don't know. I thought I saw a third.
So
one,
it's looking up.
And the IMDb score for this episode is 8.4, which is, but, keep in mind that they gave
The
last week's episode an
IMDb,
8.3.
yeah, people also, super fanboys go on there and go, everything's a 10. Ding, 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 ding,
Well, I get that this show has a very loyal fan base and almost a
It
cult
does.
following on its own. So, that tracks. But
Yeah.
I just use it as a
be everybody's cup of tea. I get that.
And then you go on like one of the Star Trek shows, especially like the Discovery era post, and like it's almost like the opposite effect where you got all these people going to like vote bomb it, right?
Yeah,
So,
exactly. Just come up with your own opinion and watch it if you enjoy it. There you go.
Yes, that would be my preference as well. Okay, so that is our rating for Bushwhacked. Not bad. Looking ahead, we are going to be doing an episode called Shindig is the next one. They're going to the ball or something. There's going to be some great costumes, I think. It says the synopsis is Inara is hired by Atherton Wing, one of her regular clients, and accompanies him to a formal dance. Badger hires Mal.
Square dancing.
Square dancing. Badger hires Mal to meet a contact at the same dance and to try to set up a smuggling job. When Mal hits Atherton for the way he treats Inara, Mal finds he has unknowingly challenged Atherton to a duel with swords. And I won't spoil anything else but beyond that. But looks like...
Is that the right order?
I believe so.
Because I'm almost positive the Mal's ex-girlfriend is the next episode.
Well, I'm almost certain you're incorrect.
Okay.
But
Fair
I'm
enough.
not Mr. Firefly, so how can I argue with
I'm
Mr.
not either,
Firefly
apparently.
about what episode these orders are in, It's hard to say. But I believe we're meant to do Shindig next.
Oh, okay.
That is my... Nope, Shindig is next. I've been backed up by the world mind. You can't
Okay.
deny it.
Good.
All right.
I'm obviously wrong.
So look out for that. We'll also be on this Thursday to talk about Star Trek The Next Generation. Adam
what
won't be
episode?
there. He already told us. It's called The Loss. Season 4, Episode 10. Look out for that this Thursday night. We'll be talking about that episode.
You know what? I'm kind of glad I'm not going to that. I didn't even know what we were doing until just now. And I do not like that episode.
Is this the episode where the kid loses his mom?
No, it's the one where Troy loses her empathic.
Loses her empathic powers.
Oh, that one's stupid. All right.
Well, look out for that podcast, everyone. And we're going to see how that'll...
I don't think I'm on it.
All right. I have stuff to say about it, but maybe I'll join
Well, you're not allowed because you're not going to be there. So
but maybe I'll join
bye-bye.
the chat. Maybe I'll join the chat.
Maybe.
Oh.
Tune in Thursday to find out.
Adam might be in the chat. We don't know yet.
He may or may not be
If
there
you're going to
too.
join us for anything, join us for the chat with Adam. Live chat with Adam.
I
Exclusive.
won't
Maybe
be pulling
he'll
over and giving you a
pull
rating.
over to rate it a 0.
Maybe. If we're lucky.
No. I'll be stationary.
So-
It's not a 0.
It's not a
Check that out
It's
Thursday night.
it's not Sub Rosa. Like, come on.
Sub Rosa
All right.
is not a 0.
It
We
is
got to
a
wrap this up
garbage
before we have this argument again.
Anyway,
I
that's a
know.
long time from now, though, so don't worry about it.
All right, everyone. Well, that's it. I have to call game over here, and
All right.
that's it for Bushwhacked. Check out Shindig next. We'll see you Thursday for TNG, hopefully. And with that, live long and podcast, everyone. Have a great night.
Beam up some Star Trek content with Live Long and Podcast. A roundtable movie discussion with Hey, did you see this one? And take a peek into the darkness with Heard Noise, Must Investigate with Michael Chan. Watch us duke it out on trivial debates. And let's chat about TV with the Super Mater Brothers. It's all here on the United Federation of Podcasts.